The Minister of Defence and Military Veterans, Angie Motshekga, says the government will continue to repatriate the remains of South African freedom fighters who died in exile. On Wednesday, the minister oversaw the successful return of the mortal remains of 49 anti-apartheid activists. Their families were on hand to witness the historic moment at the Waterkloof Airforce Base and as their loved ones returned from Zambia as well as Zimbabwe. Malungelo Booi has the details.
Finally on home soil, decades after they fled the tyranny of apartheid. Sadly, these 49 freedom fighters didn't live to see the democracy they fought for. But on Wednesday, their mortal remains were repatriated from Zambia and Zimbabwe. The remains were received by their loved ones, some of whom have been waiting for their return since the 1990s. According to the government, this is the largest cohort of liberation fighters to be repatriated since the dawn of democracy. They include members of the ANC's Umkhonto weSizwe and the PAC's ABLA, whose deaths were registered between 1967 and 1989. Among them was Vernon Moodley, a former MK operative from the Luthuli detachment.
Even when I went to Zambia to go to his grave, it was very, very emotional for me, because this was my younger brother's wish for him to bring his remains home.
Also repatriated is composer Todd Matshikiza, a pioneer of the popular drum magazine, who died in Zambia.
My father never really felt at home outside his country, even though he was a very sociable, outgoing person. But the roots, the core of his creativity remained in South Africa. And he'd always wanted to come back. That has also been the dream of our family, for him to be returned. And so this is really a very important occasion for us.
Others include former ANC SG Duma Nokwe and activist Georgina Masusu and Judson Kuzwayo. Government says they are working to ensure that other freedom fighters whose remains are buried in other parts of the continent are also brought back home.
There are plans to also repatriate from other parts of the continent. Government almost 2 years back had decided on Zimbabwe and Zambia, and I think we're grateful that we're here.
After their arrival, the 49 remains were transferred into coffins. Then they were draped in the flag of a free and democratic South Africa, a country they fought for but never got to experience. On Friday, President Cyril Ramaphosa will officiate the homecoming of these struggle activists at Freedom Park in a ceremony meant to pay tribute to their sacrifice for us all. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Malungelo Booi in Johannesburg.